Recording in progress.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call for the record. Mayor Lindsay.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Howell.
Here.
Councilor Crane.
Here.
Councilor Weeks.
Here.
And Councilor Hubbard.
Here.
We have a quorum. You may proceed.
Okay, this time I'd ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda with an amendment to item C, new business, reading approved vendor for the new fire station based on results from RFP 2025-06.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on, if I could please get a motion for the approval of the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, at this time we have one person that would like to address the council. That's Glenn Merles.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, Manager Weir, Clerk Strickland. On June 30th, 25 this year, while at Lowe's, I overheard two older male subjects speaking about an incident in May during the last major snowstorm where Public Works Director Kurt Epler had allegedly almost struck a local citizen twice while operating a village plow truck. Once coming within 6 inches of the victim and throwing a large amount of snow over him, and the second where the victim had to jump out of the way while Epler backed up with intent. As a concerned citizen, I proceeded to file an IPR request on 7/7/25 and had to file a second request on 8/1/25 to obtain all the documents requested in regards to the incident. I proceeded to review the report as well as speaking with retired officers, supervisors, and administrators, and the same conclusion was held. The crime was not applied properly as the mechanism of the assault was a plow truck, a deadly weapon, bringing the crime to felony aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, negating the petty misdemeanor simple assault based on Lieutenant Strickland's report, which was placed in municipal court. Strickland also appeared to have failed to consider reckless driving based on his investigation. The report acknowledged the close proximity the truck came to the victim, the fear he felt, the evasive action he took jumping out of the way, as well as an interview with Mayor Lindsay acknowledging the victim's statement as being almost identical told to Lieutenant Strickland. Additionally, the statement was made to Mayor Lindsay from Manager Weir admitting the language of GTF, which I won't say the words, off the roadway, led, quote, veracity to the victim's claim as stated by Strickland in his report. Having worked with Lieutenant Strickland, I've known him to be a heavy charger, charging all crimes available, as well as attempting to interject his narrative into other officers' reports and adding additional charges, controlling the crash report narrative he had a direct interest in. It appears he deviated from this charging stance in this incident. The assessment conducted by Taos County Sheriff's Miera, requested by Chief Holgrove, who had served as Miera's undersheriff, was reviewed, and Miera concluded a comprehensive report, statements Mayor Lindsay and Manager Weir made, as well as the close proximity Epler made to the victim with the plow truck during the pass, and the snowbank led to the credibility of the victim along with the fear he felt. Sheriff Miera's conclusion of no aggravating factors present is inconsistent with his review, acknowledging the mechanism of assault, a plow truck, a deadly weapon, which is an aggravating factor, the close proximity the truck came to the victim, and the fear the victim felt rises to the level of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Normal protocol concerning questions about charging should have been presented to the district attorney's office. Most concerning is a text string between Mayor Lindsay and Director Epler, where there was a concerted effort between Mayor Lindsay and Manager Weir to assist parties to testify on behalf of Director Epler to assassinate the character of the victim. One of the subjects had already been confirmed by Weir as willing to provide a statement. Those actions are a severe breach of public trust and violates the ethical principles and legal guidelines governing public officials and appear to be a form of retaliation, victim intimidation, conflict of interest, unfair and biased conduct, and an abuse of power. Your duties are to serve the public fairly and impartially and not shield a high-ranking public employee from wrongdoing. And that's all I have. Thank you for your time. And could I add this into the minutes, to the record?
Sure.
I'll take this. Thanks, sir.
Okay, moving on to announcements and proclamations by the council.
The only thing I have is that we're gonna tentatively have a work session on the EVAC policies on October 8th at 8:30 a.m. Council and the public are invited.
Okay. And I want to take this opportunity to let everyone know that Councilor Humbert handed in his resignation at the last meeting. Councilor Humbert's term is up at the end of the year, but unfortunately, him and his wife, for us, unfortunately, him and his wife Lucy have decided to sell their home and move to Santa Fe. So we're very happy for them, and I just want to take this moment to just thank Councilor Humbert for his years of service to the Village of Angel Fire, and especially for the last 20 months that I've gotten to serve with him. He's been a lot of fun to work with. Didn't always see eye to eye on things, but that's what makes this work so well. And so on behalf of the council, myself, the staff, and everyone else, I just want to give you a small token of our appreciation. And just tell you thank you very much and wish you and Lucy the best in Santa Fe.
I just wanted to make you an honorary member of the Angel Fire Department. We had a certificate printed out, but unfortunately don't rely on firemen to make print copies for you. So it came out a little sideways. I don't get you the official certificate. There's a little going away gift, and thank you for your service to the public.
Thank you.
Councilman, it's been an honor and a pleasure, and I just want to say thank you for ratifying the decision to hire me about a year and a half ago, and present you with a challenge coin from the police department for everything. Thank you, sir.
Just a small token of gratitude from the community and our staff. So, anyhow, thank you. We're gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss all of y'all. This has been a great experience.
Okay, if there's no other proclamations this evening, we'll move on to staff reports. We can start with our finance director, Jimmy Bone.
Actually, I was gonna sit this one out just to kind of give you guys an idea about what the cadence is gonna look like. My plan is to get in front of you once we close a month out. That way we've got reporting finalized for that month, and then the graphics that we're giving to you are gonna be a little bit more meaningful because you'll get to see the change month to month. Last time I stood before you, we were still in September, so I really don't have any changes there. But with that being said, because this is Councilman Humbert's last meeting with us, Brett wanted me to take a moment to share with you one of the products that we've been using behind the scenes that he affectionately refers to as the Humbert Report. So, and this is actually kind of it's a compliment, because in the finance world, we don't ever get to do anything nearly as cool as like what the police department does, the fire department, even Kurt running around on tractors. For us, we're sitting at computers all day long, and the stuff that we talk about, we get it. It's insanely boring to everyone who doesn't work in our department. And even some of our folks probably find it boring, and they're just not telling me. But what we have been working on is creating products that make our jobs easier, because a lot of the numbers that we look at, they're complex and they build upon each other. It's hierarchy levels. And the report that I've been handing out to you, it's just a screenshot of a report that actually right now drills down 3 hierarchy levels, and in the future it's going to go down 5 hierarchy levels. And so what Brett had told me, he's like, hey, you know what, let him see what that looks like, because he's our guy who drills down. He's the one who, whenever we talk finances, he's got the questions. He wants to see the data. He wants to understand why the numbers are what they are. And so that's the reason why he gave the report the name he did. And so what you see on the screen here is actually what we're using. This is refreshed every morning, and every morning me and my budget analyst, we go through this, and line by line, we look at the changes in these to determine why it changed, was it what we expected to see, and if not, what are we gonna do about it? And so, again, this is gonna look real familiar to what you have in front of you. Here's where it gets a little bit different. Clerk Strickland just went in and she just pressed the plus sign next to the general operating fund, and when she did, it drilled down. See, I see you looking for it. You don't have that. And the reason why is because this is very, very complex. And if we try to put it on paper for you, how many lines did when we expanded it?
It's over 300.
Yeah, there's a lot of data in here. And so what we try to do is we try to give you summary level explanations, that way it makes sense holistically. But in the background, what we want you to know is that there's a lot of activity that goes into this, a lot of drilling and exploring to make sure that those summary level numbers, that when you're looking at them, even though they don't give you that high fidelity, down to, the nth level, you can trust those numbers because in the background we've been doing that. And so we're hoping that'll make you proud. When you look, what you're seeing is that general fund, and that's just one example. If you look down in there, can you collapse there for just 1 second, Eliana? So this right here, these are all the funds that we track for the Village of Angel Fire. And just to kind of give an explanation, that's the hierarchy level 1. So hierarchy level 2 would be departments. And then from departments, we go down into what we call object classes, or the nature of the spend. The next step is we're going to take it down to the vendor level, and then from the vendor level, we're going to be able to take it down to the actual payments to those vendors. And so this is just step one of many steps that we've got coming. And then ultimately, once and this is just one product, by the way, we've got many products that we're going to be developing. These are all the inward-facing products for the village. And at some point, the vision, Manager Weir's vision, is that we're going to be able to take these products and we're going to be able to face them outward, so the public can also go in there and kind of drill around and see what's going on. So that's a horizon event. All this stuff costs money. And so we're not there yet. And so we're trying to do as much of this development in-house as possible. And that's your return on investment whenever this body decided to approve that budget analyst that we have on staff now. That took an immense load off of my desktop so that I could start to devote some time towards this and then work with my team so that we can come up with these numbers. So so if you want to drill in one more time, Eliana. So that's just right there. When you look inside of the general operating fund, these are the different departments that are spending inside of that fund. Now, I'm not going to sit here and give everyone a tutorial on what each of these columns mean, because what I'm wanting you to focus on right now is the rows. And so, but within each of those departments, if you want to click on finance, those are the object classes. So that's that third hierarchy level. And so this is based off of generally accepted accounting principles. And so this is what we call a GL line. And so the way the GL lines work are, there's a fund, and then there is a department, and then after a department, there's an object. And so we've got multiple strings. We've got hundreds of them. And each of those has money assigned to them, and there's activity taking place inside those. And that's basically how we do the accounting and the budget management. And so that's what's buried inside of here. So this document also, within it, you'll see some yellow highlighting. And what that is when we catch things that, I'll use that first one that's highlighted, cell phone, as an example. So we're kind of restructuring the way we do things here in the village. And so rather than just having one line in there where we're capturing the cell phone costs, they're being split up now by departments. And so now we get to see what the cost is for that particular department. Since it wasn't done that way before, there's no budget in place for it. And so that's highlighted yellow because that lets us know we got to go to the one big line where we had all that money saved up for cell phones, and we've got to apportion it out. And so each department gets their piece of it. And so that line is highlighted so that my team knows that there's an action that has to take place. Eventually, all of these products are going to end up coming to you. And when they do, they're obviously going to have to come to you in a digital format. And so we're going to encourage that you guys start using the laptops to look at this data. Because in order to get down to this level of fidelity, again, we can't put this on paper. it'd be too overwhelming, even if, you know, well, paper does literally grow on trees, but it's just too expensive to do that. And again, it wouldn't make sense. It'd be a novel and no one would understand what it was about. That's, again, this pivot table right here, this is the first product. And what you're gonna see is like, so for instance, on the cell phone itself, the next iteration would be, there'd be a plus sign right next to cell phones, and whenever you hit that, it would pop open and say AT&T, and then when you hit that, pop it open, it would show you, you know, the 3 payments that we've made to AT&T thus far this year. So that's really all I have for you. And again, I wasn't planning to come up here, but Manager Weir wanted me to show you this to let you know, because he knew that you'd get a kick out of it. So
Let me just say, years ago when Manager Weir was finance director, I would go in and, because I wouldn't understand something, I would go in and ask him a question, thinking I would get a quick answer and be out of there. He would sit me down and would give me a 45-minute lesson, not just on that, but the whole finance. So it's his fault.
So, and I'll tell you, I think it's just a part. So you'll probably notice that whenever I gave you the printouts, there's a little bit more explaining going on in this one than there was in the first one. The first time I just gave you summary numbers, and if you look at it this time, I kind of gave you the, hopefully not down to an insulting level, I've kind of explained what each of these columns means and just the general ledger and how it breaks down. And if you flip it over, there's a page 2 in there that kind of continues that explanation, and it takes us down to that department level. So this just happened to be where I'm at on this product. Whenever Manager Weir came in and said to me, hey, show them what you got. This ultimately is going to end up, most likely, we're talking somewhere between 20 to 40 pages is where this is going to end up. Because depending on the nature of the program, they can't all be treated the same. And so when we get ready to look at lodger's tax, that's going to look a certain way to you. But when we get ready to talk about workforce housing, it might not look the same, because the focus isn't going to be the same. One of them may be looking more at expenses versus revenues. The other one may be looking at it in terms of its projects and are we hitting milestones. And so as we start to generate that and print this out for you, that's, you know, again, right now you're seeing 2 pages and it's just covering the general fund. But this will eventually grow. It's just not there yet. Is there anything else you wanted me to cover, sir?
That's it. Thank you.
Do you have any questions, sir?
No, you're doing a wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is our planning and zoning director, Reg Bourgeois.
Good evening, Mayor Lindsay, council members, emergency manager, and the clerk. Before you, I've printed out the latest report that says of this morning. We had 122 permits. I promised you that it'd be on the 15th of September. Actually, it was on the 17th. I missed by a couple of days. We're looking still at probably 150, 160 permits. What that really means is about a 30% jump over even last year, which is a significant number of permits. Last week, I got in the booth with Greg, did a podcast on all the changes that are going on in the shop. And probably of the 20 minutes, probably 15 minutes was instructions on lessons learned that I've had in the office that'll make it easier and more one-stop shop for the folks that are coming in looking at permits. I felt like it was well received. I had a lot of good comments on folks that said, you know, I've been here a while and I didn't even know that's how you did that. So the proof in the pudding there, we'll see how it goes. Roofing. Roofing is dominating the permit structure right now. Probably about 50% of the folks who are walking through the door are repairing roofs. May 6th, 7th, or 5th, 6th, and 7th this year really took out a lot of roofs with that heavy wet snow. Just to give you some background. Encroachment process, we're still going through some bumps on that. I've got all the encroachment permits coming through my office. That's review of all documents before it goes down, and I don't sign a construction permit now unless an encroachment permit's in front of it. And so that lines up with our folks over at the resort. The folks that go to the resort, if they're going to do new construction, they get it through the entire FPO process. They come to me, we had to encroachment, and it's a one streamlined process of getting an entire permit package out the door. And what the benefit that's going to reap for you is folks come in the fall, and by next fall, in 1 year, they're out there building and they've got their construction completely done in a manner that doesn't erode our roads and so on and so forth. So hopefully that'll work a little bit better for us. I'll be ordering the kiosk. I've got everything approved now. I'm gonna be ordering that kiosk and put it in my office. Somebody walks in the front door, they can sit down like they're going to TSA or getting their airline ticket to get on United Airlines, and they can do the permit right in front of me with me coaching them to make sure that they got all the boxes checked and the proper signatures in the right place, and they'll be able to digitally sign right there, and we'll have a signature on file. So hopefully that'll be done in the next week or so. Next step, in terms of where I'm headed in the next direction, now that I've been through one iteration, I'm gonna update the websites, make sure they're cleaned up. Up until now, I've just loaded on top of another document that was there and just updated the document. I think that we can make that website even more, pardon the pun, or pardon the words, user-friendly, make it a little bit easier for somebody to go, okay, government, there's my titles, there's my ordinances, there's my application, download. Make it all one process there on the website. The next Planning and Zoning Commission is next Thursday, open to the public, and that's all I have for you tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Up next is our Public Works Director, Kurt Epler.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, Manager Weir, Clerk Strickland. First thing I want to report on is workforce housing. The main water line and all service laterals are installed. Started installing water lines to the first 6 homes in one place, and things are progressing pretty well. With the help of water department staff and street staff, we've been able to work on, getting this project to where it's at right now, and they've also been able to stay on top of their duties out in the field. And water department has had some pretty significant challenges recently, and yet they were still able to go complete that water main. For water department, we had one situation that I would like to report on because it highlights a need that needs to be addressed throughout the village. During our fire hydrant inspections, we got a report back. We had 2 fire hydrants that showed excessive pressure. So we had to open up a pressure regulating valve vault on El Camino Real. That's why there was a hole up there for a couple of days. We had to access the manhole to get inside and repair we call it a PRV, that was installed probably early 70s, late 60s. When the time came to do the repair, we have to obviously isolate the line. When we went to close the isolation valve, it broke partially closed. So we couldn't open it up enough to get people water back and couldn't close it down to do the work. So hence, we had to dig it up and replace it. There were some people had to go overnight without water due to it, but good news is we did get the PRV repaired. The pressure situation was addressed, but it brought to light that, so everybody understands we have at least 36 PRVs throughout the village. I say at least because we know that there's a couple, we know there has to be a PRV in a pressure zone, but they're not reflected on the maps, okay? What the PRV does is it keeps us from getting excessive pressure coming down the hill due to our grades. And they're very antiquated, another component that probably hasn't had the periodical maintenance that they should. We're going to be starting an initiative to triage these PRVs because every one of them are a high priority, but see what we feel is in the most immediate need, and we'll be starting to address those. Now with the water line complete out at workforce housing, crew and water department is going to start addressing the fire hydrants that through the course of the inspection were identified as needing attention. Understanding that even some of those that have bags on them, the problems range from everything from a bolt missing off of the bonnet
the part you see up on top, to a completely non-functioning hydrant. So some of the hydrants that were listed as not functioning or simply turned off. There was a fair number of them that are actually some of the newest fire hydrants that have been installed, part of the PID, part of the Aspen subdivision, and for whatever reason, at one time or another, the fire hydrants are just isolated at the main. So we're gonna start with those. A good number of these fire hydrants can be repaired without having to be dug up and fully replaced. Actually have some of the water department crew here that have, they've taken classes and have actually addressed quite a few fire hydrants that even I, a year ago, would have thought we'd had to dig them up to replace them, but they were able to fix them in place. Last thing with water department, the booster pump upgrade project is moving forward now. They just completed booster station 5. They're working on booster station 9 now. There was a bit of a delay in one of the critical components for this project. We decided to, in the design of these booster stations, to install straining mechanisms because to eliminate the potential for debris getting into the pumps. Something that has happened in the past and hasn't happened so much for a while, but we want to eliminate that possibility. Anyway, the strainers took a while to come in, but they're moving along pretty good with them right now. I will say that in my first 6 months on the job, I think we lost somewhere in the vicinity of 8 booster station pumps, and since then we've had to rebuild 2. So what the guys are doing out there is working. Everything that we're giving them for support is helping, and SCADA, again, I'm going to bring it up, has been a big component of that. In streets department, a lot of the effort has been centered just around maintenance. We've been blessed with a lot of good rain this summer, and we're taking advantage of it. We still have some issues out there in areas where we need to replace cross culverts, install cross culverts, and hope to get some of that done before winter. We will recommence activities of milling up chip seal, hopefully starting next week on a couple of roads that have just deteriorated to the point that they can no longer be repaired. Any questions at this point? Sir?
Hey Kurt, you have a couple of your team members in the audience here. I think it'd be worthwhile recognizing them. These guys have been working like crazy. They often do work that's unappreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. In the back, we got Nathan Gopian. Raise your hand, Nathan. Logan Folks. And Jack Crandall. We've seen Jack at quite a few times. I am going to single Nate out. He's kind of shy, but we had a water main break last week that he repaired live. We had to relieve pressure off the line by opening fire hydrants, reduce the flow, and he jumped down in the ditch. 2 vac trucks sucked the hole dry, and he put a clamp around the leak. So, yeah, it's anybody wants to work in water department, you get to swim weekly. So, I do want to mention also a maintenance department. If nobody's noticed the work along Bill Burgess Boulevard. They've cleared back a lot of the shrubbery over the creek crossing, the culvert crossing. Their mowing equipment wasn't able to work off the slope, so they, and his guys went at it by hand. And the whole area back here at the event center looking good, and they did a good bit of work trying to get rid of some of the prairie dogs out there as well. So, if there are no further questions, I do want to tell Mr. Humbert that it's been a joy. You did not once vote no on anything that I presented. And I told you if the day ever came that you told me no, it'd probably break my heart. Thank you for your service to our community. You've done so much for us.
Well, thank you for everything you did. You really improved the infrastructure here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt. Next up is our tourism director, Greg Ralph.
Good evening, council, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Manager Weir, and Clerk Strickland. Couple things I want to update on. First thing I'd like to fill you in on is short-term rental compliance. The tourism office took that over in August from finance over here in this side of the highway, realizing that it was potentially our revenue to go after, and we needed to manage that program. We started, when we took over the program, we had 220 short-term rental permits issued in the valley. We're now at 483. So we've more than doubled the compliance on short-term rental permits. We still have a way to go. Currently, we have 189 business licenses for 597 of the 660 rental properties identified by us. We've had 12 new business licenses, well actually 13 with today, since the compliance letters went out on the 21st of August. So we really didn't start pushing people to get in compliance till the 21st of August. The discrepancy between business licenses and short-term rental permits, one business can operate a bunch of short-term rentals. So that's just an overlap thing. We're now working on setting up the accounting so all lodging short-term rental providers can pay for their business licenses, short-term rental permits, and submit their monthly lodger's tax payments reports through Granicus, the software we have to track this program. Granicus currently identifies 930 short-term rental properties in Angel Fire, where we're identifying 660. So we need to get that accounting system set up so everything's run through there so we can get to a real number. Until we have that going, we are starting hand audits on some of these. We're looking at the people that Granicus shows could be the potential biggest providers of lodging and bringing the most money. We audited one property today. It shows that they are in compliance with everything we've done in Granicus, but we show no payment of lodging tax payments this year. So we're going through the system, figuring out where the discrepancies are. It's not perfect yet. I'm hoping when we have the accounting all tied together, it will be more accurate than what it currently is. But we are showing gains. Most of the people that have come in that have gotten the compliance letters have been very understanding about what we're doing. There hasn't been a lot of pushback or any threats or anything. And the challenge is more about educating people than the resistance that's being posted. So it's an education process. All right, on to lodger's tax numbers. In June of 2024, we brought in $23,116. In June of 2025, we brought in $58,064. So for June, we showed a 151% increase in lodger's tax revenue. July, in 2024, we brought in $62,530. This July, we brought in $87,181, a 39.4% increase. So we are seeing some increases there. Hopefully they're at what we projected, but because we projected a pretty substantial increase. So we're working on getting those taxes collected. We have implemented an event survey. A digital survey is in place to measure the importance of events for attracting visitors to Angel Fire. We got it up and running for the last Cool Summer Nights show this last Friday. And just so you know, this was the first Cool Summer Nights that we've ever seen more New Mexico IDs checked than Texas IDs. And it wasn't all locals. There were a lot of people traveling from in-state, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and other communities. And that survey will be used again at our future events, Oktoberfest, Fire and Lights, and other things. We really need to know how effective events are bringing people here and put some numbers behind that. Okay, next and last thing to fill you in on. Today, at noon, we sent out an email to 1,300 people that are signed up through the village system to pay their utility bills online. And the email we sent them was just an opt-in email. We're putting out a Village Voice newsletter that's now digital, and we've got a Visit Angel Fire newsletter that's now digital, email newsletters. My computer is going ding, 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 ding with people complying on this thing. We've had over 400 people out of those 1,300 people already opt in for those newsletters in just a few hours. So it's a pretty good response from locals. It's primarily locals, utility bill people, a lot of people, second homeowners, but they want to know what's going on and they're willing to subscribe to our information. So that was great to hear. That's a good sign. That's all I have for this evening. I want to thank you for everything you've done. I'm going to miss you. Thank you, Mr. Humbert. Appreciate it.
dude.
Any questions for me?
Why don't you go ahead and just let everybody know what that's all about?
On Sunday, I got a call from one of the Porsche the president of Porsche Club in New Mexico. And they said, check out the new issue of Panorama. It's a monthly magazine. It's a really nice national magazine that's sent out to all the Porsche Club members in the United States. And the Porsche Club of the United States is the largest automobile enthusiast club in the nation with over 5,000 members. This was a shot that was in that magazine that they told me to check out. So that's what that is. We were in the national magazine. Our event that we did over Father's Day at Balloons is up for Event of the Year with the Roadrunner Porsche Club. And they will be back in 2 weeks. The Mavericks and the Roadrunner Club are coming back October 10, 11, 12 for a celebration here in Angel Fire because they had such a good time in the spring. Any questions for me?
I got one, just, could you make like a flyer or something for the brokerages so that when we have clients, because we give them like the Angel Fire Resort membership packages, maybe something that has the website for, we can hand to them and say, you know, if you're gonna rent your property out, you know, here's, you know,
We have
take this.
We have that information.
So
We have
just
it printed
pick
already.
those up.
I can get those to you.
Okay,
And we'll get them to all the other offices.
great.
Sir?
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, next up is our fire chief, Jason Vance.
Good evening, Mayor Lindsay, members of the council, Manager Weir, and Clerk Strickland. I'll start off with our calls report. We had 44 calls this month in the last 30 days, which hits our average of about 1.5 per day, 7 of which were fire calls, 37 were EMS calls. I'd like to start off by thanking the Wildland and Slash for their continued effort. Since the inception of the Defensible Space Ordinance, they have done an outstanding job at keeping up with the inflow and have no current backlog of Slash. This month they have taken in 89 cubic yards of Slash and picked up another 275 cubic yards from around the community and chipped 110 yards on site. If there are any questions about pickups or Slash or burn permit, please don't hesitate to reach out or look up on our website. There's pretty good instructions there now, as well as contacting Captain Romo. We're at an annual count of 89 home assessments for the defensible space. Lindsay Reed has been working her tail off this summer to get many of those done. We're currently scheduling fall assessments, so hurry up before the winter season hits us. She did share another success story this week at the Fire Adaptive Community meeting of a homeowner being able to get reinsured after mitigation following the defensible space recommendations. My third item is we have finally completed design phase of the fire station. We ended up with 12,898 square foot building featuring a large community space that can double as an emergency operations center should we have a large scale event. Crew quarters for 5 personnel, and an exam treatment room for walk-in treatment, which we currently have. If you don't know, Fire Station 1, if you needed treatment, you need to walk in and sit on our chairs that we have up front. It's not designed as a medical space. If we had an event where we got snowed in or something like that, we could keep somebody there 24 hours if we had to, if we weren't able to get through the pass. So really looking forward to getting that started. And we're projecting a groundbreaking of mid-October. We have a invite out to the governor to see if she can make it up here and have a groundbreaking ceremony. You all will be invited. Lastly, I'd like to announce our Not lastly, I have one other item, sorry. I'd like to announce our most recent hire. His name is firefighter Mike Bracault. Mike brings over 20 years of firefighting experience by coming out of retirement from the Albuquerque Fire Department, and we'd like to welcome him on board. Lastly, the community defense, community wildfire defense grant results have been announced. This is a part of a $200 million project over 58 different projects in 22 different communities, so it was highly competitive. This was a collaborative effort spearheaded by the Angel Fire Resort. Special thanks to Mark Manley, Cimarron Watershed Alliance, and Rick Smith, Moreno Valley Fire Department, Taos Pueblo Ranch, the Fire Adaptive Committee meeting here, and Mike Overby, and Angel Fire Department. We were successful in that application, and so this is phase 3 of that, and we were awarded $10 million that will go towards 400 acres of thinning on Agua Fria Peak, bordering Angel Fire, 33 miles of evacuation routes in the corridor within Angel Fire, which is a really important step if we are trying to get people out, of course, and 427 acres of fuels reduction, restoration, and defensible space. The hard question is when will we start seeing this work? This is phase 3 that we're speaking of. Phase 2 hasn't even been awarded yet, and that work hasn't even begun. So we're waiting from word when that money will be freed up and we will start the work on, but I will keep this body advised. Do you have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and then finally this evening for staff reports, our code enforcement officer, Joel Lang.
Evening, Mayor Lindsay, Manager Weir, Councilman, Clerk Strickland. It's going to be brief. Basically, this staff update is going to be very similar to the last one. We're still trying to attack the encroachment compliance, but I do believe we've been very successful in our efforts in doing so far. It's just there's been so many of them, so we've been focused on that more than anything. I'll give you a quick recap for the month of September. As far as citations, violation notices, stop work orders, and calls for service. As far as citations, there was 1 citation written. Violation notices, 3 of them. There were also 3 stop work orders. And there were 5 calls for service logged into the Mark 43 report system. And that's pretty much all I have for now. I want to say, Councilman Humbert, thank you for your time. Wish you the best of luck in the future. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Joel. Okay, that concludes our committee staff reports. Do we have any committee reports this evening?
I think I already said one.
If not, then we'll move on to old business. Item A, I'd like to open for discussion to approve architectural design documentation for the design group for the new fire station build. Chief Answer, are you going to present on this?
Yes.
Good evening again. I'd like to propose, excuse me, wasn't ready, obviously. So we went through RFP process for design of a metal building kit as phase 2 of our fire station build. We received 2 bids for the metal building kit for the fire station. We developed a committee, and the committee scored both of those proposals. Out of those, there was one clear winner. Or one company that gave a significant effort that was better than the other. So we'd like to help me with my work. Thank you.
So, Mr. Mayor, Yes, Chief Ants, this is the old business, this is the approval of the architectural design for the new fire station.
I apologize. So we have architectural design for the Fire Station 1. You have that in front of you. We have a just under 13,000 square foot building. As I had mentioned before, I do have another presentation if anybody is interested in seeing the highlights of that design. So we'd like to approve the final design. When we had asked before, we were missing a couple of geotechnical survey or topographical survey issues. We have since resolved those, and the design you have in front of you is the final design.
Does the men and women's restrooms have showers?
Yes, 2 different showers.
That's right.
Separated showers.
Thought they were. but-
Yeah.
Any questions or discussion? If not, I'd ask Mayor Pro Tem Howe to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the architectural design documentation from the design group for the new fire station build.
Second.
Roll call vote on item A. Mayor Pro Tem Howe.
Aye.
Counselor Crane.
Aye.
Counselor Weeks.
Aye.
And Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you for helping me through my struggle. Sorry about that.
Okay, moving on to new business, item A, I'd like to open for discussion to approve variance 2025-002, setback at 14 Zuni Circle. Director Bourgeois.
Good evening, Mayor Lindsay, council members, Manager Weir, Clerk Strickland. Before you, you may have this packet, yes, as the Councilman Weeks has it. Mr. George Lee, he's requested on 14 Zuni Circle to be able to extend a deck in 12 feet into this 20-foot setback of the greenbelt. It wasn't an easy decision for the council, or for the commission. I went out there, pictures in that, those photos are from me. Went out to the deck, coordinated with AFPO, coordinated with Mr. Manley. It's a reasonable request. It's a reasonable request, and the commission has recommended that we approve the variance into that setback.
So this is an existing structure.
It's an existing structure. As it passes the chimney, it's about 3 feet wide. He purchased that structure the way it is. There are no neighbors. He owns the entire circle. The big consideration is the setback in the greenbelt.
Any questions or discussion?
The only would be if they ever had to run utility through there, would the deck infringe on, you know, a tractor or something trying to get utility through? There's still 8 feet. It didn't take the entire 20 feet. And beyond that is the green belt, so you could get around that deck. Again, I went out there with a skeptical eye and talked to a lot of folks about this. It's a reasonable request. It's the kind of request that I would give.
There's no further.
Mayor.
Oh, yes, sir.
Mayor.
Yes, sir, Mr. Manley.
Mark Manley for the resort. I just want to clarify, I did speak with Mr. Bourgeois about this issue. The resort does not have a position. There is, our silence is not, shouldn't be construed as approval or opposition. No inference should be drawn from that. If we did have a position, I would certainly make it clear. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's the same position I got from various, I wrote all the letters for all the neighbors. I had 2 call and they were the same thing. Once I explained to them what was going on, they were accepting. There was no negative response.
No further questions or discussion. I'd ask Mayor Pro Tem Howe to make a motion.
I make a motion to approve a variance 2025-002 setback at 14 Zuni Circle.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on new business item A. Mayor Pro Tem Howe.
Aye.
Counselor Crane.
Aye.
Counselor Weeks.
Aye.
And Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, moving on to item B, I'd like to open for discussion to approve to apply for the Trails Plus grant. Mr. Lira?
Mayor Lindsay, Council, Manager Weir, Clerk Strickland. This agenda item is to request approval from the council to apply for the Outdoor Recreation Trails Plus grant, which is being sponsored by the New Mexico Economic Development Division. Basically, this grant planning for this grant is to apply or construct a trailhead facility at the end of the proposed Frank Young Trail, with a primary use to facilitate snow biking and other sports at the Allenville Sports Complex. So basically, this facility would be a concession stand with 2 bathrooms, 2 restrooms, basically, but it would be serving the snow biking, new introduction to snow biking to the village and other sports that we have in the sports complex. But I do need to tell you that I'm requesting $348,000 for this, and there's a 50% match. And so I've calculated half of that to accommodate for the 50% match requirement. And I believe that I can easily confirm that the engineering work that we've done so far to get the water lines in, and also the construction of the water lines and expected construction for the sewer and electricity would be well over that 50% to be able to account for that. So I request your approval.
Any questions or discussion? Not, Mayor Pro Tem Howe, if you'd make a motion.
I make a motion to approve to apply for the Trails Plus grant.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item B. Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. And Councilor Humbert, I'll really miss you.
I'll still be around.
All the projects we discussed together. It's been great discussions and great progress.
Thank you.
Thank you for your work on.
Thank you, Roger. Up next, item C, I'd like to open for discussion to approve vendor for the new fire station based on the results from RFP 2025-06. Chief Vance.
Good evening again. I think I'm on the right agenda item now. So at the end of August, on the 21st, we opened up a 14-day RFP schedule proposal for a metal building kit as part of the overall fire station design for Fire Station 1. We received 2 bids during that time period, assembled a committee, and on September 15th, they returned a weighted survey between the 2 companies. One company, Metacero Manufacturing, Metacero Building Company out of Texas, was successful in getting their recommendation. So we'd like to proceed with Metacero as our vendor for the metal building kit and work to get a proposal submitted to you for approval. Do you have any questions?
Mayor Pro Tem Howe, if you would make a motion.
I make a motion to approve the vendor for the new fire station based on results from RFP 2025-06.
Second.
Roll call vote on item C. Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. On to item D, I'd like to open for discussion to approve a grant agreement 12367 for water line and hydrant replacement. Ms. Guam?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Manager Weir, and Clerk Strickland. Before you is a capital appropriation grant agreement, I-2367. This is a $100,000 appropriation for the Monteverde Lake subdivision area for the water line replacement. That $100,000 will be allocated to plan and design. And it'll probably be phase 2 because we've already started with plan and design for phase 1. And I'll stand for any questions.
Further discussion or questions? Ask Mayor Pro Tem how to make a motion on item D. I'm sorry, yeah, on item D.
I make a motion to approve a grant agreement 12367 for water line / hydrant replacement.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item D. Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay. And on item E, I'd like to open discussion to approve a resolution 2025-63, authorizing project SAP-24-12367-GF, and assigning an authorized signatory. Ms. Guhan?
Mayor, for the record, that is not a 1, it's an I, 2367.
Aye.
Okay, so that capital appropriation we agreed to, now we need a signature authority. So the signature authority is who's able to authorize the village to enter into this agreement, sign off on projects. So we have the mayor, we have Manager Weir as a backup, we have a signature required from the finance director, myself, and so on and so forth. And I'll stand for any questions.
Any further questions or discussion? As Mayor Pro Tem Howe to make a motion.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2025-63, authorizing project SAP-24 I2367-GF, and assigning authorized signatory.
Second.
Roll call vote on item E. Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, moving on to item F. I'd like to open for discussion to approve the appointment of the National Veterans Wellness and Healing Center committee members. Manager Weir.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Council, Clerk Strickland. As you're aware, we recently received a donation of 18, technically we bought it for $100, I believe, but effectively a donation from the Veterans Wellness, National Veterans Wellness Group, who donated 18 acres to the village. We are in the process of leasing that land back to them so that they can access and develop that land with a $1.2 million appropriation they received from the governor. What we have, the mayor has instructed me to do as part of that process is to develop a committee that will report to this body on all activity that goes on at Veterans Wellness. And so what we have submitted to the mayor, and he's asking you to vote on, is the committee members. They are listed in your packet. It's Marcus Podell, Janice Podell, Destiny Bertucci, Frank Gonzalez, and Kathy Dunbar. So we need approval of those committee members, and then they will start holding committee meetings here at Village Hall. They'll be recorded just like any other committee, and then any of the transactions that go on, the expenditures and everything will go through that committee and recommended to the council for approval. My recommendation also, Mr. Mayor, is to make the council liaison for that committee, Mayor Pro Tem Chuck Howe.
Agree with that. Any further questions or discussion? If not, Mayor Pro Tem, please make a motion.
I make a motion to approve appointment of the National Veterans Wellness and Healing Center committee members.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item F. Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
This time I would ask Mayor Pro Tem Howe to make a motion to move into an executive session for NMSA 10-15-1 H-2, item 1, Marles Glen versus the Village of Angel Fire.
I make a motion to move into executive session per NMSA 10-15-1 H2, item Morals Glen versus the Village of Angel Fire.
Second.
Roll call vote on item G. Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Mr. Mayor.
Recording stopped.
Request the presence of Chief Hobart.
Let me do that.